welcome back to another episode of Market Markup. This is Lance, co-founder of BH Capital Enterprises, where I teach black people how to navigate the markets using price action, specifically price action on charts. I love charts. So welcome if you are a newbie here. Thank you for watching. I hope you get value out of this, and I hope you decide to subscribe, hit that notification bell, share it with a friend, leave a comment, whatever you feel compelled to do. I'm grateful. And I'm definitely grateful for those of you that are sticking around and continue to support and continue to watch, continue to be engaged. I really, words can't even explain how grateful I am for you guys. But anyway, what I've been doing for the month of July is a 30-day chart challenge where each day I'll be putting out a new video where I'm breaking down charts on just kind of randomly chosen tickers. I'm working ahead a little bit. As you can see, today is the 10th, but this is for day 12. Since it's the weekend, on the weekends I tend to do multiple videos. That way I can go into the week not feeling a little more relaxed. But anyway, let's jump into ARK. My question is ARK ready to take off? Like, is it time to go back long on ARK right now? And let's see if we can find some answers to that question during our study here. So, in usual fashion, I'm going to start off with marking 2020's closing price with ARK, which was 124.49. And you can see where ARK is currently trading in relation to that closing price. So 49. All right, so 2020 close. There we go. You can see the price is currently hanging out just above that level. Some indecision here happening on the yearly chart. But honestly, I gotta be honest. ARK is one that I glance at here and there, and I really, really, really wish that I would have grabbed something, some shares or something when it dipped to the low 100s and below, even when it dipped below 100. But I wasn't using my right mind at the time. But anyway, so yeah, this is where ARK historically struggles above this mid 125s area, and it's been hanging out here for a little while now. Um, so it's still early, even though we're halfway through the year, where we're in the second half of the year. So hard to say whether the price is transitioning to the next phase of the market cycle, which is phase three, which consists of consolidation. But it'll take a little time for us to be able to see that on the yearly chart. So you can see right now there's been some tug of war going on between the Bulls and the Bears for this year so far. Last year was just monumental with just crazy moves with this stock or this ETF. So we'll just keep an eye on this yearly chart to see how it continues to shape up. But let me grab my screenshot and then we'll just go ahead and move on to the next time frame, which would be the monthly chart, of course. All right, so monthly chart, you can see it's been just kind of hanging out here for the most part. We got a little, we had a change in sentiment here when the price bounced off the 50-period moving average. Um, but it had a breakdown here at this point. And recently, during the month of June, is when it kind of shifted gears a little bit, it appears. So I'm gonna mark that area just to kind of let you guys see what I'm talking about. So had a very nice bullish break of that bearish trend line here. So it could, kind of consolidate a little bit. But yeah, just be looking to see how the month of July shapes up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mark this area. Um, I'm gonna mark this area and name it so that when I go back and look at uh, when I look at this chart, I can, no matter what time frame I'm looking at, I can see what the significance of this area was. I'm just gonna call that the recent pivot on the monthly chart, um, and do my little color down here. All right, so that's the area that I'm looking for, especially for the month of July. Looking to see if ARK can get to 130 and close above 130 for the month of July. So uh, not quite halfway through the month yet, but just some things to look out for moving forward over the next couple of weeks. Um, if this is what I think it could be, then there's a chance that art could really, really, really take off here. And I'm gonna do a little measuring here and see what our potential targets can be. So one of my targets would be about 217. So I'm gonna do a price level. Alright, so we're gonna make that orange. Boom. And that's gonna just disappear. So that's gonna be one. And I like to do multiple targets, and usually go with the lowest target, just to be a little on the conservative side. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna do another level here. Alright, so my next level is going to be, there we go. Alright, and okay. So really, I would be looking for a move on the monthly chart uh, toward 200, possibly. And it's just going to depend on how it continues to move on this monthly time frame. Um, Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and mark 200 as well. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much what I'm seeing with this monthly chart so far. And the area that I would watch is about right here, approximately. No, I'm not even going to do that right now. I'm not even going to do that right now. Let's change the color here just to give it some consistency a bit. All right, so bullish break of the bearish trend line there. And watching to see how January shapes up. So that's one potential, hypothesis. But if the price can't get above this 130, um, it may head back toward the mid 120s. If the mid 120s breaks, then the price can head back below 120 potentially. So watch out for that. Um, is there anything else that I'm looking for? Can see here. And I'll talk about these two trend lines up here. That's for a different time frame. Um, let's get my studies off of here. Yeah, that's it. Let's just move on to the weekly chart and see what's going on. All right, so weekly chart, we can remove this as it's yeah, well, it's kind of shaping up there. So maybe over the coming weeks we get a slight retest of this area. Looks like it tried to this past week as it got as low as 119, so it pushed a little bit below that 120 area that I just mentioned on the monthly chart. And bears failed to keep it below there, so bulls were able to push that price back into the mid 120s area. Um, Nothing else that I'm really seeing right now. Just continue to watch to see if on the weekly chart this thing just continues to consolidate for another few weeks or so, or another several weeks. But just watch for potential consolidation to continue, but always keep an eye on this 130 level and also this 124.25 area to the downside. Um, mm, Nothing. Not seeing anything that's changing my opinion or anything like that. Currently with this one. Yeah, not really. Okay, so what I wanted to say about these two trend lines here is something that I noticed, uh, and I don't really follow this ticker on a regular basis. I just kind of look at it here and there, but mostly because I knew that some of the people in my chart masters group were positioned coming into 2020. And so I remember, kind of following it a little regularly back then, and I noticed that the price was in this ascending channel, right? And with an ascending channel, typically you're going to see breakdowns more often than you're going to see breakouts, depending on how high the angle is or how sharp the angle is of the channel. And with ARK at the time, this is a pretty sharp angle. This is probably over a 40-degree angle. And so just think about how the price would have to move in order to break this trend line here. You know what I'm saying? So when I saw that the price was just kind of trading up here, again near the top of that trend line, I sent out, word to my people that, hey, if you're in this thing, you may want to think twice about getting out. Like if you're profitable, especially if you're profitable, definitely be thinking about, an exit plan. And so as you can see, it dropped all the way from the all-time high down to eventually going below $100. So that's a pretty significant drop. Um, and so that's why it's important to keep an eye on price action on a regular basis, because you're able to see if there's any change in what the market is thinking or feeling about any one ticker. And you can't necessarily pick up on that as quickly if you're heavily fundamental. You know what I'm saying? So, just something to keep in mind. But anyway, uh, in looking at this, um, over the last couple of sessions, you can see that the price is trying to move back into this area. So for me, I really probably wouldn't be doing anything with this ticker until it, makes a move out of this area. Um, let's put let's see what the 50 and the 200 are currently. All right, so if you look here, the purple moving average here is my 200-day moving average, and you can see that on Thursday it bounced from there. So in my opinion, maybe there's an opportunity there to go long. And go long, I mean, be bullish on this stock as it crossed above, it entered into phase two of the market cycle, crossed above the 200-day moving average, and it retested it recently after rejecting 130. So maybe this time, if it heads for 130 again, maybe it breaks. Maybe. So just something to watch and keep in mind. And for Monday session or early next week, I'll be watching to see if it can get above this like 125, 126 area and on up toward like 128. So actually, I'm just going to put a small little rectangle in there just to serve as a little visual reminder of this area that I just mentioned. So I definitely like to see it move inside this area and maybe even above this area sometime next week. Now, that's not to say that that's going to happen. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I'm just saying something I'd like to see personally. But you can see the price is above both moving averages, but the 50 is still below the 200. Um, so, watch for any changes with that and see if this 50 starts to curl back upward and do a bullish crossover with that of the 200-day moving average. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not a whole lot to this one in terms of its price action. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I appreciate y'all watching this video. Any question, if there are any tickers that you would like for me to check out, put them in the comments. Hit me up on social media, whatever you feel compelled to do. But I'm grateful that you guys have watched, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Market Markup for my 30-day chart challenge.